Have you ever caught your partner doing something so bad that cheating would have been the better option? When I met my BF Theodore and he seemed perfect, I never told him my dad was ultra rich. Not because I wanted him to pay for everything, but because if there's one thing my dad taught me, it's that boys only want one thing from girls. Still, our relationship was perfect. We had the passwords to each other's everything, and he wanted to make sure that I always existed in my femininity, which meant he paid for everything and complimented every single meal I cooked for him, even when it came out a little burnt. But one day, he turned his "find my iPhone" location off. I didn't mind too much, but I still confronted him because I hated leaving things unspoken. Oh, so now a man can't even have any privacy. I do everything for you. His reaction was so uncanny that I immediately broke into tears. That's when he took a break from his yelling to hold me. "I'm sorry, baby, it's just been a tough day at work." I turned it off because I just wanted some independence. His words should have been comforting, but they weren't, because he said them really fast. And the second I stopped crying, he returned to playing Call of Duty. So the next morning when he left for work, I called my dad. "Honey, I trust your instincts, but Theodore seems like a good guy," he said. That same day, Theodore never came home. When it was 1 a.m., I texted asking where he was and responded saying he was on a work trip. What the F? I instantly knew something was wrong, but it was clear that he wasn't going to tell me the truth. So I just let him think that he had somehow gotten away with his lie. When he came home the next morning, he snuggled into bed beside me. It was obvious that he was exhausted. As soon as I heard him snoring, I shot up out of bed. On his wrist was a Claire's friendship bracelet, and sticking out of his pocket was a lip gloss from Justice. My eyebrows furrowed. Maybe he had run into his niece? None of it made sense. That evening, I served him his favorite meal and a glass of very strong whiskey. I waited until his eyes looked glossed over to ask him more questions. "So, did you get to see anyone while you were away?" I watched closely as his face strained for a second before answering. I guess I saw a girl. My niece, that is. Why do you ask?" My heart skipped a beat. His niece lives 2 states away. He's never mentioned her traveling, let alone visiting him randomly. "Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw the bracelet on your wrist." "Yeah, that was my niece's," he stuttered, and almost dropped his fork. Over the next few days, I regretted bringing it up, because it only helped him to get better at covering his tracks. One evening after eating dinner, he told me he was leaving to volunteer for the night shift at some faraway soup kitchen. "Theodore, in our 3-year relationship, you've never once mentioned anything to do with volunteering." "Well, I don't know, I just wanted it to be my thing, I guess," he rebutted. He then proceeded to actually send a link to the faraway soup kitchen in question, and when he was gone, he even sent photos of him working. Okay, so maybe I was just being paranoid. That's what I tried to tell myself. But unfortunately, just 12 hours later, it was disproven, because when he came home and slept, I unpacked his backpack for him. I thought I was doing him a favor. But in the midst of his dirty socks, I found a drawing. It looked like it was done by a child, and it was a photo of him, and what looked like a 10-year-old girl kissing on a bed together. At the bottom, it was signed with a heart and the name Lily. I've never heard him mention a Lily. Luckily, I didn't need to keep scheming, because that's when I got a text from my dad. It was a screenshot of Theodore making a booking at one of his Airbnb listings. Theodore had booked it for 4 days from then. It was a log cabin in the middle of nowhere, and he obviously didn't know my dad owned it, because the next day he again told me about a work trip. And guess what? He lied about the location. But again, I played dumb. "Wow, honey, you work so hard. I love you." And that idiot ate it up. They always do. When the day came, I waited until 6 hours had passed since he left and drove to the log cabin. As I parked and sneaked my way to the window, I could feel my heart beating in my chest. That's when I saw it. Multiple 9-year-old girls completely unclothed with him. I immediately vomited into the grass beside me. I dug my nails into my palms so hard I saw red. It was one of those moments that no one prepares you for. My hands trembled as I tried to take a photo. I sent it to my dad and he replied straight away. He told me he was on his way and would be here in a few minutes. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.